Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret and the Law of One.
Oh, wow. Those sound like they're from totally different worlds, right? What do a motivational speaker and a channeled text have in common?
That's what we're going to find out. We're going to explore some pretty big ideas today. The power of thought, the nature of reality, and the path of evolution, all that and more.
I'm excited to see how those seemingly disparate sources can intersect and potentially reveal some kind of combined wisdom.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the core message of Earl Nightingale. We become what we think about. It's catchy, but what does it actually mean?
Well, The Strangest Secret really emphasizes this creative power of our thoughts. It's not just about wishing for something, but about recognizing how our thoughts can shape the reality around us. And the Law of One, it actually supports that through the concept of manifestation, where thoughts have this tangible creative energy.
I think of that analogy Nightingale uses, the one about the giant earth-moving machine
Right.
with a little man steering it. The machines are potential. And then that little man and his thoughts. Those thoughts are what determine what we build.
It makes me think about how even our subconscious thoughts, they're constantly working behind the scenes, shaping the outcomes of things. It's a call to be more mindful in even the most ordinary moments, you
hmm
know? Those thoughts that we have, they're kind of like seeds,
Uh,
and eventually they'll sprout into our reality.
so you're saying that we aren't just passively experiencing life, we're actually actively creating it with every single thought.
Absolutely. It's both incredibly empowering, but it can also be a little scary, don't you think?
I think so. It adds a whole other dimension to everything.
Yeah, definitely. And then the Law of One, it introduces this idea of the veil, and it kind of adds another layer of complexity to it all. Think of it as like a curtain, almost like it's drawn between your conscious mind and all of the knowledge that your soul holds.
So it's like we're choosing to experience life without the full picture.
Yeah, it allows us to experience things in a fresh way,
Yeah.
to exercise free will without being weighed down by past experiences.
Okay. But doesn't that also create this sense of separation from who we truly are?
It definitely does, and Nightingale touches upon this a bit as well. He explains that forgetting allows us to fully engage with the challenges and opportunities of this life. But the Law of One adds a really interesting twist to it, the idea of wanderers.
Wanderers.
Yeah, these are souls from higher densities who choose to incarnate on Earth specifically to help raise the overall consciousness.
Hold on. Some of us might be these cosmic volunteers here on a mission to help humanity, but we just forgot our purpose.
That's the idea. It definitely raises some big questions. Like, if our thoughts create our reality and we're veiled from our true nature, what does that mean for the choices that we make, the actions we take, even our purpose for being here?
It makes you wonder if every challenge, every obstacle that we face, even every happy moment, could be tied to some larger cosmic plan.
Exactly. And it leads us to another point where these two sources converge,
Mm.
the idea of aligning our lives with something bigger than ourselves.
Like Nightingale's idea of a worthy ideal.
Yes, a goal that goes beyond just our personal desires and connects us to something greater. The Law of One mirrors this with its focus on service to others as a key driver in spiritual evolution.
I'm thinking of that story Nightingale shares about buying that struggling insurance company and then turning it around.
Oh, yeah, what about it?
By inspiring the sales staff with these motivational talks, he gave them a worthy ideal to strive for a belief in themselves and the company.
Exactly, he gave them a purpose. And that aligns so well with what the Law of One emphasizes, the idea that shifting our focus from those self-serving desires to a genuine desire to contribute to others' well-being, it aligns us with a higher frequency of consciousness.
It's not just about achieving success in the material world, but also about aligning our actions with a deeper sense of purpose and service.
Yeah, that's it. And the Law of One describes this whole process of spiritual evolution as a progression through what it calls densities of consciousness. Like, imagine consciousness as a ladder, and each rung is a deeper level of understanding and awareness.
Okay, so we're all on this cosmic ladder climbing towards greater understanding. Where are we now on that ladder and where are we headed?
Well, we're currently on the third rung, what the Law of One calls third density. This is the stage where we're focused on learning about self-awareness and free will. But get this, we're transitioning to fourth density, a level where love and unity are the dominant forces. It's like graduating to a whole new way of being.
And that sounds amazing.
Mm.
But how do we even navigate this transition? Is there like a guidebook or something?
The Strangest Secret and the Law of One, they both offer some really valuable insights. Nightingale, he encourages us to cultivate a mindset of growth and purpose, to focus on that worthy ideal and let go of anything that's holding us back. And then the law of one. It emphasizes how important it is to align our choices with love, compassion, and serving others.
So it's about combining that inner work, like cultivating the right mindset, with actually taking action and aligning our choices with a higher purpose.
That's a really beautiful way to put it. And remember, this journey of evolution, it's not a solo mission.
Hmm.
We're all in this together and we're connected in ways that we're only just beginning to understand. It's that interconnectedness that's so important. The law of one. It suggests that we're all part of this unified field of consciousness, constantly influencing each other and being influenced by each other's thoughts and feelings.
So it's like we're all swimming in the same cosmic pool.
Yeah.
If someone's giving off negative vibes, does that ripple out and affect everyone else?
It really makes you think about our responsibility. If
Mm.
our thoughts are that powerful, what kind of collective reality are we creating together? Even Nightingale, he talks about how important it is to protect our minds from negativity, not just for our own sake, but for everyone else's.
Kind of like that saying, misery loves company.
Hmm.
If we're always focused on fear and worry, we're contributing to a collective mood of anxiety. How does the law of one address that?
It's interesting. It emphasizes acceptance, not in the sense of just giving up, but more like actively acknowledging what is without judgment.
So working with the flow of things instead of constantly fighting against it.
Exactly. Imagine if every act of kindness and compassion was like a spark of light in the darkness. By choosing love over fear, we not only change our own experience, but we also contribute to a more harmonious reality for everyone.
I like that.
Yeah.
But the law of one also talks about Earth transitioning into fourth density, this higher level of consciousness. If we're all connected, does that mean everyone automatically gets upgraded?
That's where things get really interesting. The law of one describes it as a kind of harvest, a natural process where souls are evaluated based on their spiritual development.
Harvest, like a cosmic sorting hat, deciding who's ready for the next level.
Haha, that's a good one.
Hmm.
But it's not about judging or punishing anyone. The law of one says that the main thing that matters is the balance of love and wisdom within each person. It's about how well we embody those qualities in our thoughts, words, and actions.
So it's not about following rules, but about developing a certain way of being. What happens to those who aren't quote-unquote ready for this harvest?
It suggests they continue their journey in third density, not as a failure, but just as a continuation of the learning process. There are always more opportunities to grow.
It's good to know everyone graduates eventually at their own pace. Nightingale talks a lot about success in the material world. How does that fit in with the idea of spiritual evolution?
That's a good question. I think the connection lies in the idea of alignment. Nightingale encourages us to go after our goals with passion and dedication, but he also says it's crucial to choose goals that match our highest values.
So it's not about success for the sake of success, but about using our achievements as a way to express our purpose.
Think of your life as a ship. Success is like the wind in your sails pushing you forward, but your spiritual compass, your worthy ideal, that's what determines your true direction.
How do we even know what our worthy ideal is? The law of one says the veil obscures our true nature. So are we making these choices in the dark?
That's where self-awareness and inner guidance are so important. Both Nightingale and the Law of One encourage us to listen to our intuition, to trust that inner compass.
Like we all have this internal GPS guiding us towards our potential. But we have to learn how to tune in and trust the signals.
And those signals might not always be loud or clear. Sometimes it takes quiet reflection or even moments of stillness to really hear the whispers of our soul.
So slowing down, tuning in, and remembering that we're not just isolated individuals chasing success, but interconnected souls on this journey of evolution.
It's a beautiful dance between inner and outer transformation. As we cultivate love and wisdom within, we naturally start making choices that reflect those qualities in the world.
Wow. It's amazing how all of these ideas from these different sources come together. It's like we're building a bridge between the practical advice in The Strangest Secret and the cosmic view of the law of one.
That's a great analogy. Speaking of cosmic views, there's this one more really mind-blowing concept from the Law of One that I think we need to talk about.
Okay, lay it on me.
Social memory complexes.
Social memory complexes. That sounds straight out of Star Trek.
I know, right? But imagine a group of souls who have been evolving together, and they decide to merge their individual consciousness into a larger unified being.
So it's kind of like a hive mind, but on a spiritual level.
You got it. And the Law of One suggests that this merging of consciousness is actually a natural part of evolution in these higher densities. As souls evolve, they recognize their inherent unity and choose to combine their strengths to serve a greater purpose.
That's fascinating. Are there any real-world examples of these social memory complexes?
Well, the law of one states that the entity that's channeling the information in the text is actually part of a social memory complex.
Wait a minute, so the voice we're hearing in the law of one isn't just one being, it's a whole collective of souls speaking as one.
Exactly. It makes you think about channeling in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if there are other social memory complexes out there that we might be interacting with without even realizing it.
That's both fascinating and a little creepy. The law of one talks about positive and negative polarity. Does that apply to these social memory complexes too?
Absolutely. It goes back to that fundamental choice we talked about, service to others versus service to self. Positive social memory complexes are all about love, compassion, and unity, while negative ones are driven by selfishness, control, and the desire to dominate others.
So there's like a cosmic tug of war going on between these forces.
Yeah.
Sounds like the stakes are pretty high.
They are, but the law of one suggests that this tension is actually a crucial part of evolution. Think of it like this. Without darkness, we wouldn't appreciate the life in us. Challenges and contrasts help us grow and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the universe.
So even the negative polarity serves a purpose. It helps us define and strengthen our commitment to the positive.
Exactly. And ultimately, the law of one suggests that all polarities will eventually merge back into unity as evolution continues. Separation is just an illusion, a temporary stage in the grand scheme of things.
That's actually a comforting thought. It reminds me of that line from The Strangest Secret. Our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds.
I love that quote. And both of these sources, they really empower us to break free from those limitations, to step into our full potential as co-creators of a more loving and harmonious world.
This deep dive has been quite the journey. We've covered the power of thought, the illusion of separation, the concept of spiritual evolution, and even these mind-bending social memory complexes.
It really has been an incredible exploration. And I think the most important thing to take away from all of this is that we are not just passive passengers in this cosmic journey. We are powerful creators with the ability to shape our own realities and contribute to a collective awakening.
And it all starts with a single thought. So choose your thoughts, wisely align your actions with love and trust in the unfolding of your own unique and amazing journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the strangest secret and the law of one.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.